大龄剩女开始卷起来了。
Us older single women have also started to compete with each other, leading to some eye-catching phenomena. My 38-year-old friend, an older single woman, previously set her bride price at 800,000 yuan, but she voluntarily lowered the standard to 100,000 yuan. To engage in a who can be harsher competition with her, I made an even more radical decision. Not only would I not ask for a 50,000 yuan bride price, but I was even willing to give 50,000 yuan to the man, turning this competition between older single women into an intense battle of who can outdo whom in the competition to escalate.
你想结婚呀，你得操心一下你自己，我无所谓了。
We are both older single women, so stop mocking me. We're pretty much the same. You said that if I drag this on, I'll become infertile, but that's none of your business. If you want to get married, you should care more about yourself. I don't care anymore. Anyway, I don't want to get married now. I've already given up. Don't keep saying that I'm about to stop menstruating. Even if my uterus is useless now, I don't care. Don't think what I'm saying sounds harsh. Yes, you said no man would want me now, and I admit it. I've long given up. But you're different, right? You still think you have a chance, don't you? I admit that I have become like those men describe me. Water off, electricity off, total shutdown. I'm ugly, short, old, and bad-tempered. So, in order not to be a burden to the male population, I've chosen not to marry or have children. I've already made a mental decision to castrate myself. But you're different. You haven't given up. Are you still planning to bring more trouble to the male population? Do you still want to get married and have children? Don't mock me. I used to think I couldn't sleep without a man in my life. That was my old idea, but now I'm different. I've made a choice. I've completely given up on men. In the past, I might have thought I couldn't live without a man, but now I've let go of that issue. People change. You can't measure the present me by the past me. When I was a child, I had many issues, like wetting the bed, but now I don't do that anymore. People grow and change, don't they? Now, I can accept a life without marriage or children, and I've made the decision not to be a burden on men anymore. But what about you? Don't think you're so great. If you don't take care of yourself, you'll end up like those men describe you, water off, electricity off, total shutdown. Don't think there will be a long line of men waiting to pursue you.
00后一加入相亲大军，可把大龄剩女给搞慌神了。
As post-2000s girls gradually join the army of blind dates, many older single women feel nervous and anxious. My cousin, who was born in 2003, has recently started trying blind dates as well. I asked her how much bride price she was expecting. She replied, around 30,000 to 50,000 yuan will do, because her mother mentioned that there must be a bride price as a formality. Then I asked her about her requirements for a car and a house. She said, "Who still buys a house nowadays? A house will only bind you for life, and I don't want that." She also mentioned that a car is just a consumable, and it costs 20,000 yuan a year for insurance and fuel. She'd rather take a taxi. She said, "At most, I'll want a car for getting around. Something like a Wuling Hongguang Mini is enough." According to our traditional view, if a man does not have a bride price of several 100,000 yuan, nor a house or a car, he is essentially not eligible for marriage. However, this view has almost become the mindset of the post-80s and post-90s generations. It's surprising that now even the post-2000s girls no longer care about these external conditions. Some of them even say they prefer older uncles because they have stable personalities, good temperaments, and are more charming and experienced than young men in their 20s. Many men are always bound by the view that you can't get married without a house or a car, but the post-2000s girls stand up and say, "I'm willing to marry even without a house or a car." This is like hitting the jackpot for many men. As a result, many men are now turning their attention to post-2000s girls. Some older single women, seeing this situation, have started to form their own opinions, thinking that the men who are pursuing post-2000s girls must not be good enough and are trying to deceive these young girls. However, it seems that the reality is not like that. Most of these men are very attentive to their wives, and they are very capable in taking care of the family. Although their earnings may be limited due to family conditions, in other aspects, they hardly have any flaws. These seemingly worthless qualities are exactly what the young post-2000s girls value the most. In fact, in this day and age, many people seem to have overlooked that being able to make money is just one of the many valuable traits of a person. Responsibility, cooking, and taking care of others are equally important, but these qualities are often overshadowed by the focus on earning ability. On the other hand, the post-2000s girls actually prefer these qualities, which older single women consider worthless. As a result, when entering the blind date market, the post-2000s girls not only attract the attention of older men but also win the affection of their peers. Some excellent men are already taken, and in the second round of selection, the remaining men gradually begin to find their partners. Ultimately, the post-2000s girls also attract the attention of men who originally would have been considered older single men. With this trend developing, many older single women feel embarrassed and anxious because the post-2000s girls' performance in the blind date market seems to have completely broken the advantage once held by the post-80s and post-90s women. It seems that now, in the marriage market, the post-2000s girls have become the new main force, leaving older single women feeling caught off guard. What do you think older single women should do?
单身相亲的市场上有一些优质的准单身男生。
Let me share with you a harsh reality of today's matchmaking market. In the current dating market for older single women, some high-quality potential single men, that is, those outstanding men who are about to divorce, are often reserved in advance by a group of older single women. This phenomenon is especially prominent in the markets for high-quality men, where dozens of older single women often compete for one such man. The scene can be described as very intense, almost like a Double 11 flash sale. Once a product is listed, it is instantly snapped up. At the same time, some may ask, why are these high-quality older women not being fought over? This is indeed a sharp question, but we must admit that age has an unavoidable impact on women in the marriage and dating market. Although this is unfair, it is an objective reality. When a woman reaches the marriageable age, the most noticeable focus from society often turns to her fertility. Society generally believes that a woman's value in the marriage market is largely defined by whether or not she can have children, and her high income or advanced education seems no longer as attractive. We can use an analogy to describe this phenomenon. It is like a 2000 model Mercedes-Benz. Although the brand is impressive, after you bring it home, it may have various small issues, and might break down at any moment, even stalling halfway. While the car's brand and appearance may be attractive, over time, problems become inevitable. For those older women who genuinely want to marry, I have 2 suggestions. You might not like hearing them, but they are important. First, you need to be clear about what you have and what you want. Knowing your own conditions and needs is crucial. Second, you must learn to control your excessive desires within yourself. Meaning, don't want everything. You can't demand that your partner be handsome, the right height, successful in his career, come from a harmonious family, and be dedicated and caring toward you. Such perfect demands may be impossible to find in reality. If you could find someone like this, you would have probably married already. Many people say fate hasn't arrived yet, but I believe that if fate were truly in your favor, your marriage would have already been arranged, and you wouldn't have to wait for so long. I have seen some very beautiful women who may not meet traditional marriage standards, but they live very clearly, knowing exactly what they need. They might like money, rather than pursuing romantic and idealistic love, and so they simply find a wealthy man, where appearance and age are unimportant. These women may not fit the perfect marriage partner image in our eyes, but their choices are clear, and their goals are well defined. They don't insist on unrealistic standards but focus on achieving their own goals, and what they ultimately gain is exactly what they truly wanted. This is their best choice. In conclusion, whether you are an older single woman or a man, the most important thing is to understand your own needs. Don't be bound by society's perfect standards. Clarify your goals and pursue them steadily, so that you can leave the dilemma of being single behind as soon as possible.
我40岁了没结婚，我已经停水停电拉闸了。
I am already 40 years old and still not married. Many men say I'm like a place that has stopped water, electricity, and shut off the main switch. Some people always say that older single women are picky, have too many requirements. Their expectations are higher than the sky, yet their fate is as thin as a piece of paper. Now that we are older, even rural older single men won't marry us. But I have never forced anyone to marry me. On the other hand, older single men are often lacking in many aspects. They are not tall. They have no money or ability. They are stingy and tight-fisted. Their emotional intelligence is insufficient. And they are selfish. It is only natural that they cannot find a wife. However, many older single men I meet through blind dates often say that they never intended to find a wife. This makes me wonder, why do men and women have to hurt each other? What is the point of this? In the past, ancient matchmaking was like a contest to win a spouse, but today's arena seems more like a battle. Now, as older single women, we not only have to compete with 90s-born girls, but also with girls born in the aughts. And we still have to compete with other older single women. It is really intense. That being said, I can't help but think of the legend where goddess Nuwa created humans, hoping that we could live in harmony and peacefully coexist. But she probably never imagined that human relationships would evolve into such a situation where we hurt each other. This current state seems both absurd and ridiculous. But ultimately, can't we sit down and discuss a good solution so that we can peacefully coexist? Wouldn't it be better for everyone if the relationship between men and women could become more harmonious and life more peaceful?
For us older single women, when we state our requirements for a partner, we often face ridicule from many men. They think our demands are too high and even accuse us of being unreasonable. For example, when we mention that we hope the man has a house, a car, and a monthly salary of over 10,000 yuan, many men would respond by asking, if I had those conditions, why wouldn't I look for a woman in her 20s? Why would I choose you, an older single woman? Indeed, looking for a woman in her 20s seems like a good choice, and I believe many of you can find one. But the problem is that when we are over 30, our mindset towards marriage has become very mature and stable. We enter marriage not for temporary passion but because we genuinely want to live together, to have a stable and fulfilling life. In contrast, if you men go after a young woman in her 20s, she is still very young, just graduated from university, and has just entered society. Many times, she may still be unsure about her future direction, let alone the responsibilities and commitments of marriage. So if you go for a woman in her 20s, you'll likely have to wait for several years before she's ready to marry. There's a high chance that you might find yourself just one of her boyfriends, or she might simply see you as a stepping stone. On the other hand, for those women who are independent, successful, and have good conditions, they are often surrounded by excellent men. In many cases, older single men like you are simply unable to compete. So many times, men should stop deceiving themselves and face reality. Finding an older single woman is actually the best choice.
我今年32岁，可是我到现在都没有嫁人。
I am 32 years old this year, but I am still not married. Although I have completed my master's degree, to be honest, I feel that I have not succeeded in marriage. Some people might suggest that I reflect on my experiences and share some insights. If I could, I would like to tell those younger girls, especially those who still have the chance to get married, that I have some views on relationships between men and women. First of all, I believe that if you want to be a qualified girlfriend or wife, you must not habitually set excessively high expectations for your partner. Many times we hope that our partner can provide 100% emotional value, meaning expecting him to constantly pay attention to your emotions, quickly reply to your messages, and even accurately guess what you want in your heart, fulfilling your material needs as well. But in fact, as someone who has been through this, I want to tell you that truly outstanding men often put most of their energy into their careers. Their time and energy are typically used to pursue career success. Men who spend all their time figuring out women's thoughts and constantly trying to please women often struggle to achieve much. Therefore, as women, we must clearly understand what we truly want, rather than expecting and demanding everything at once. During this period, I have also been constantly thinking and reflecting. Marriage requires more understanding and compromise, rather than unreasonable demands and expectations from one side. I really regret that I missed out on many good men. I hope young girls don't follow my old path and don't be too picky. When you meet the right man, get married quickly because the competition among girls in the marriage market nowadays is incredibly fierce.
没有那么了解我的朋友，他们都会觉得我很奇怪。
I am 40 years old, still unmarried, and without children. Occasionally, I wonder if I am strange. In fact, it does feel a bit unusual, especially to the people around me, like my parents and some friends who don't know me well. They always ask, why aren't you married? You're not bad looking, you don't have any bad habits, you're doing well in your work, and your life seems pretty normal. So why are you still alone as you approach 40? This may be because my life goals are different from those of most people. In fact, I place great importance on my career and enjoy dedicating my time and energy to my work. Most of the time, I focus all my attention on my career, so I don't pay as much attention to other aspects of life. I believe that my life should be simple with minimal unnecessary desires, so I can focus all my energy on the development of my career. Of course, it's normal for my parents to urge me to get married. After all, they want me to follow the typical path of settling down and having a family. However, their urging doesn't trouble me. I know that the direction of my life should ultimately be decided by me, not by my parents. Although they are the ones who raised me, my life belongs to me. There's a saying that goes, "We are our parents' children, but our lives are our own." So, I will live life in my own way, trying to minimize regrets and pursue the life I truly desire. As for marriage, I have my own unique perspective. I want to marry someone I truly love, and that person must love me as well. I will never settle for someone I'm not satisfied with just for the sake of getting married. Nor will I have children just for the sake of having them. That would be unfair to both parties and to the child, and it would be irresponsible. Therefore, even though I'm single now, I don't feel uncomfortable about it. To me, being single is a form of freedom, and there's nothing wrong with it. I don't really care what others think of me. Who knows what the future holds? Maybe I'll have a late-in-life romance. I'm not opposed to that possibility. Overall, I believe that everything should come naturally, without forcing things. What's more important is that I invest more time and energy into my career. If I succeed in my career, I will have more opportunities to give back to society and do something meaningful for the community. Moreover, the more money I earn, the better it will be for me when it comes time to find a partner in the future.
The competition for older single women is getting fiercer. The first group is the post-00S girls. As young women born after the year 2000 enter the matchmaking market, these girls in their early 20s not only have an advantage in age, but their fertility is also a strong point. In addition, compared to women in their 30s, their requirements for a partner are usually much lower, making them more attractive in the matchmaking market. So, 30-something women, where do you see your advantages when compared to these younger girls? On the other hand, it seems that men have gradually become aware of their own value, no longer satisfied with just giving. When they encounter a girl around 25 with moderate material requirements, they are willing to pursue her. However, if too much time and effort are needed to chase a girl, men today are unwilling to put in that kind of energy. Many men believe that working hard to earn money and improve themselves is currently a more important goal. After reaching the age of 35, many men can easily consider marrying a girl in her 20s, getting married, and having children. So, 30-something women, can you afford to wait that long? Third, there is a significant number of men who are willing to accept cross-national marriages. For them, the fact that foreign brides don't require a house, a car, or a bride price is just one aspect. More importantly, they simply want to establish an international marriage and even hope to have a mixed-race child. So, 30-something women, now that you are aware of these realities, do you feel a sense of crisis? What do you think older single women should do? Feel free to leave your comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Your support is very important to us, and we will continue to provide you with better content. Thanks again for watching, and see you next time.